So we are live. Thank you everybody so much. We're gonna wait for some people to log in while Zoom lets them in. And it looks like we got Steve here. We got Michael coming in. Thank you guys for coming. We'll give a couple more minutes for everyone else. For those of you, I'm sure everyone is already a Zoom professional with as many webinars and Zoom calls that everyone's been on. For those of you who are not, if you have any questions for either myself or Carlos, who I will introduce in a moment, he's our guest speaker of the day. You could put your in either in the comments in the chat, or you could use the question and answer box. I implore everybody to network in the chat box with each other. There's a lot of people here that are looking to do deals, people that are looking to find deals, people that are looking to joint venture, people that are looking to wholesale, people that are looking to lend, right? So I want this to be a good opportunity for each of you to kind of let everybody know what you do, how you're there to help, what areas maybe you serve, and network with each other. This is what we're here for, right? Live events aren't happening right now every day, so let's utilize these times that we have where we're all together and network. We have with us today also Carlos, our real estate specialist. He's been in real estate, if I'm not mistaken, for about 17 years now, right, Carlos?
That's correct. Approximately 17 years.
Very good. And Carlos is a professional, not just in the residential side. He also does commercial. He does property management. So he has a lot of different diversity. He's really diverse when it comes to real estate and how he can help you. And we're going to go into some of that very soon. I'm just going to give another minute. We got Kristen here, who's a investor in the greater New Orleans area. Hello, Kristen. Reach out if you guys have any deals or are looking to sell deals in New Orleans. Looks like they're looking to buy. All right. So we'll get started. So Carlos, first off, I want you, if you don't mind, just give a little bit of an introduction as to who you are. I know I just introduced you, but let them know a little bit more about you and what you do.
Of course. Hello, everyone. I'm Carlos Suarez, real estate agent. I have been working with Center 21 Semion Associates since I started. I have been in the business for approximately 17 years. I cover residential, commercial, and property management. My main concern is offer the best customer service possible, which I have been awarded for a few years. And my goal is to keep doing the best services possible because that's what it brought more business and also keep yours stronger. Working together with many different people. Um, I would like to always participate in a webinar like this to not only share what I know and help other people, but also learn from you guys. Thank you.
Amen. Amen. Yeah, we never stop learning no matter how long we're in this business. No two deals are ever the same, at least in my experience. So we're always learning, and I'm glad to hear that from you as well. So Carlos, I guess the first question we have, is how do people work with someone like yourself and me at the same time, right? What's the relationship? How are you able to assist both of us, the client and Express?
I see that as a very simple way um, because all the time when I speak with people, not only those which I already have a connection, but also people that I'm meeting for the first time, I like and I have the curiosity to find what kind of business they have, how they are surviving, and what they are doing to improve and move for the other level they probably didn't have the opportunity yet. So by that, as that being said, we start to talk and build connections.
That's the important part, the connection, the relationship, right?
Exactly.
And absolutely. So, I mean, you mentioned something also that was very high level, is that you live to serve and you want to serve at the highest level, right?
Correct.
So what
Yes.
are some things that you do to educate and serve your investors and your construction managers in the industry?
Well, I always like to hear from them first what they know about the business, not only the construction, but any business they are manage. If they work to somebody else, what they are doing, what is their occupation, what they know how to do it, you know. So these people, most of the time, they have a talent to do their own business, to taking care of their own business, and they just don't know how and get into it. And that's where I come. I tell them there is many opportunity. Lenders like you guys express capital financing, and sometimes they see as impossible. So well, let's sit down, let's talk about it. And I start to talk about. I don't tell them I'm educating them, but I tell them I can help and share skills, ability, and I'm very patient most of the time. I wouldn't say 100%, but I would say most of the time. And I can explain one, two, three, or four, or five, maybe more, until I see if there is a potential. And most of the time, it is a potential.
Understood. So it's more just about, it's not so much about helping them do something. It's more about educating them on what they're able to do and then assisting
Yes,
them with that process and walking them each of the step of the way through.
yes, exactly. Let's go straight to the point.
Absolutely. Education is extremely important, especially in this industry where there's so many mistakes being made. If you don't mind, I mean, are there any is there anything specific that you feel you're educating on more often than others that maybe you could share with the group?
Well, on my end, what I'd like to do always is find out how they are manage their financing, and based what they reply to me, I can tell them if there is a different way to manage, to have some kind reserve money saved to start to work with private lenders like you guys, and explain them there is a certain requirements in order to get in the business. And I don't think there is many agents doing that. So, but I don't want to be like the other agents. I want to make the difference. The difference is right there. It's discovering new um, ways to create new business. The entrepreneur, the reality, the entrepreneurship business is that is create new way to do business, and that's what I'm working on it.
Absolutely. And I'm sure the way you do business has changed drastically since the whole pandemic hit, forcing us to at first stay at home. Now, then it made showings impossible, and then open house is really hard. I know me and you were chatting about it a little bit. Do you mind sharing with the group kind of what are the new methods and ways that you've now started to do to help people since it may have become a little bit harder with COVID?
Well, the best way is helping them to manage most of the communication electronically. Um, Meeting them is kind of hard because we don't know where they have. I mean, where they have been before coming to meet us in the office. We don't know if there is anyone sick in their relationship, home, or someone. I mean, somewhere where they have been doing their tasks, working. So sometimes they are not really familiar with this new system, doing electronic signature, exchanging information through emails, text message. But once um, you dedicated, you are interested to bring these people together, there is a way we can put them in the way to formalize, let's say, reinvent, to reinvent. We just need sometimes to get them into the new system to get used to. That's what I would like to say. To get
Sure.
used to.
Sure. Have you been doing, just out of curiosity, have you been doing like virtual showings at all, or do most people usually show up still and view houses and the properties?
Honestly, I have done a couple, but it's not my favorite because I believe virtually is just to having the first impression as like you look at the property through website, things like that, but does not complete satisfy your interest, and it's kind of hard to receive and make sure a offer will continue if that is just based on a virtual tour.
100%. As I like to say, we don't marry our wives from a picture, right? We have to take them on a date. We got to
I
know what we're getting into, right?
I did not. I had to see it. I had to see it. So is that you?
100%. We really, it's important to go out there and see properties. And honestly, that was one thing I wanted to get into because, and don't get me wrong, some people do know how to purchase properties virtually. I just don't like to recommend it. It's good to really go in, touch, feel, see what you're buying and know what you're getting into before you make any purchases. So I mean, I know right now also there's a lot of ways to, there's a lot of opportunity right now in the markets, whether you're into stocks, real estate, it doesn't matter. There's always opportunity. What are you telling your investors when it comes to all this opportunity that they see and they can use other people's money? Like, how does this kind of affect you and how do you bring it into your investors? And how do you communicate that with them?
Well, it's fun because I was once in Paris a few years ago, and I was looking around and I saw a sale for sign plate on the this historical buildings, and I look at all the streets, and the real one who called me attention was that sign for sale. And I started to read about this so many articles about the strong investment in the world. The strongest investment in the world is real estate, because real estate, it doesn't matter what's happening, it's still the most safest investment, no matter what. So, and I like to deal with, and this is my strong conversation with the investors. It doesn't matter if they have been in the business for a long time or if they are just planning to get into the business. It's my strongest and foundation is real estate investment.
Absolutely. I 100% agree with that. Real estate is by far one of the best investments you could make. And one of the little points I always like to make is that, if you're buying Bitcoin, there's no one coming in saying, hey, I'm going to give you 80% of your purchase or 90% of your purchase to help you buy it because it's so volatile. It could go up, it could go down, you could be out, you could be in. And when it comes to real estate, there are so many people out there willing to put their money down on the line for it because they understand how strong it is, right? So it's not just so much that the market holds that value, but also the people see that value and they hold to it. So, I mean, what are some ways that you're seeing some of your investors finding deals and really getting to them right now, since not all the methods, you can't network anymore as much, you can't do a lot of the things that you used to do. What are some new ways that people are getting creative about and finding properties?
Well, there is not only the real estate connection in the multiple listing services, but also on the private connections where they offer market properties. And we can go through many websites showing sell by owners, and these sell by owners, some of them knows what they are doing because they probably has did other transactions previously, bought and sold, but many of them doesn't know what they are doing. They are there because someone told them they could save money, but they don't know how to marketing. They don't know how to interact with the buyers. They don't know how to interact with the lenders. They don't know how to interact with the public in general. At the end, if they insist on that, they can lose money and jeopardize their personal life. Sign contract, be binding by someone who making an offer, and you know, taking advantage because they figured out the seller doesn't know what they're doing. So it's a very dangerous world, and so that's what I'm coming to it. I try to communicate quickly as possible when I see sell by owner property. There's some of them they are kind of rude. They say I don't want to talk to you about it. Say, well, but I didn't say anything yet. How much you are asking on your house for sale? And so we started a conversation. I just leave my business card with them, offer some help. Sometimes it works. I can't expect it works 100%, but at least a few works. There is always some ways that we can discover new properties that is a great deal to offer for the investors, those who already have a few properties, or those that wants to buy for the first time. Um, some investors wants to buy and hold, others wants to buy and flip out. Those buy and hold they are more flexible because they don't have the necessity to sell out. They can pay a little bit more. They can take more time to finish the project on the repair side. Those flippers, they want to make money immediately, so they want to the most cheapest property possible, which is kind of difficult to find in nowadays.
It's all about the motivation, right?
Yes.
And it's another reason why it's important to work with a realtor who's not just passive about, oh, when a listing comes on my lap, I'll let you guys know about it. No, it's you're working with someone who goes out there hunting for deals, right? He's calling up for sale by owners. He's reaching out to them. He's finding deals on the daily. This way he could provide them to you, the investors, right?
Yes, of course, and I also offer the opportunity for those buyers, prospective buyers, if they stop by somewhere, if they see a sign and they admire that piece of property and believe that it's an opportunity for them, they can send me that address and I'll check for them what the situation is.
Absolutely. So I'm gonna get into. I have a couple more questions, but I also want to give the audience a chance. By the way, so guys, if you have any questions for myself or Carlos, please put it in the questions and answers box or in the chat box, so we can help answer them for you. We'll spend a little bit more time on here with you guys. Make sure we could answer any questions you guys have. Um, so I mean, right now you're saying that you're working on for sale by owners. Are you seeing obviously? Are you seeing more for sale by owners come on the market now for any particular reason? I guess due to the pandemic or anything else.
Well, it's not specific because the pandemic, but there is a lot of people, as I mentioned previously, the homeowners believe they are saving money if they sell on their own. But again, it's gonna take much time on the market if when they list with real estate expertise, you know, because they don't know how to work on the marketing. They don't have the same connection we do, or, which I consider the most important is be a cooperate with the other agencies. When I list my own listings, I really don't listen too much for the brokers say, "Oh, keep private, it's sellable." No, I don't want to keep those on my inventory. I want to list and sell. I'm not make I'm not making a collection of listings. I want to collect, list, and sell. That's my goal.
And that's really just providing the highest level of service. Because if you think about it, right, more like what he just said is a lot of agents sometimes want to hold a pocket listing, if you want to call it, or a private listing and just sell it themselves because they'll make, oh, I can make 6% instead of 3% or whatever the difference may be. If you're working with someone who has your best interest in mind, he is only looking to sell the property as fast as possible. He's only looking to put your offer in and get it approved as fast as possible because he works for you. All right.
Yeah.
Now, Carlos, another question I had is, do I need, if I found a deal by myself, if I was just walking around, I was driving for dollars and I found a deal, is that something that we could still work on together? Or are you only there to help me find deals?
Hey, I'll be glad to help you. Just let me know. You tell me if the deal is good for you, if it sounds good for you, and I'm still looking at. I want to make sure if you are in the right direction. I'll look at and I want to see the comps and make sure you are in the right direction. If you have put your money on the safe place. Most of the time, sometimes the guys say, "Yo, but I want the props." Well, you want the prop, of course, but don't you want me to tell you what's going on? Do you really want to take a challenge to probably is going to against you sometime soon? Let's see the history. What's going on with this property? Why this property hasn't been sold previously before you see? So all these things I try to help them.
It's all about just informing and giving the best information possible to make a quick and informed decision.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't look, it seems like we've been very thorough where no questions have come in. Guys, if you have anything else, please drop it in, for the next couple minutes while we're still here. Carlos, is there anything left else you want to kind of leave people off with, or a last message you want to kind of tell the people that's listening today?
Yes, this would be very brief. Um, Many Asians, they are so, uh, let's say, blocked. They depend on the office. Because they depend too much on the office, on their managers, so they are really suffer with the impact with the pandemic. And every time when the business go down for some reason, they find themselves dead. This business is not for the real estate that depend. I mean, real estate agent that depends on the manager, the training, the office, on the broker, or anything from the us. Real estate business is for the person that goes out and look for business and get business, and be open to new universe. Be open to keep learning all the time. That's what the real estate is about.
Absolutely, you're definitely right. Carlos, if you don't mind, could you share with the people how they could reach you should they have any questions or they want to get in touch with you about buying or selling a property?
The best way is looking first. I suggest them to find me online. If they contact me, say, "Hey, I found you online because your reviews," then I'll give you them a discount automatic on the commission points on new listings. I'm not gonna describe what the discount is because I don't know how many agents are there. I don't want them to compete with me, but this is my strong point in marketing. And every time when someone reach out to me, I first like to find out how they got my number, how they got my name, and what they saw so important to make them to contact me when there's so many agents out there. These things help me to get strong, and because I'm always learning something. They tell me why, they give me the points, so on.
Sure. So if they wanted to find you online, what would be the best site for them to look at?
It's not a real site, but if you Google Carlos Suarez Realtor or Carlos Suarez C21, Realtor would be the best because C21 is not everyone who is to know that I work with C21. But if you just do real estate agent in Newark, New Jersey, or if you look for Center 21 website, you look for agents in a certain area, I guess you'll be able to find me. If you want if you want to find me right now, if you want to try to find me and go and Google a real estate agent in the Newark area, for example, you probably will see my name.
Okay. And if they wanted to call you, what's the best number for them to reach you at?
201 306 5361.
201. I'm putting this in the chat box. 306
5361.
5361. And we're going to make sure also to email your information out to everybody with a copy of this recording. But I did go ahead and put his phone number for you guys in the chat box. So check it out there. I'll leave it there for a second. I'm also going to put up his Century 21 page so you guys can reach him as well there. If you just give me, there we go. So now you have all of Carlos's information. Now there is nothing holding you guys back from doing your next deal. You have your realtor to help you find your deal. You have your lender, myself, Express Capital Financing, to help finance your next deal. What else is stopping you from doing business?
I don't see anything that could stop anyone to get in the business. I think I mean if there is some blocks on someone's mind, it just needed to be starting to talk with someone else. Little by little, we can figure it out. Someone can help us in some way. And there is always a way to learn something more, something new. And education is the number one. Education is the number one to help everyone succeed. I never stop. I always studying something, taking classes for something else. Um, I'm not trying to advertise anything about any specific corporation or business itself, but I took a lot of classes with building wealth, and they have taught me a lot of things that made me advance my career really in a high level that I never thought that I could reach out to. And some of my investors has been there too, and they are spending a lot of money taking classes over there. They participate a lot on webinars. Before the pandemic, they were always going to somewhere, California, San Diego in California, and Ohio, Miami, and you name it. And these people, they decided to educate themselves, and they still using my services because they said, Carlos, you are our realtors for life because you look out for us. And I'm so glad to hear things like that. That's make me very happy.
It's two ways to learn. You either make the mistakes or you learn from someone else's mistakes. And, this is a business where you're going to make money while you make those mistakes. So it's best to just kind of get involved, learn as much as you can up front so that you minimize those mistakes. But ultimately, you just got to get involved. You got to touch it. You got to feel it. You got to just jump in. Talk to Carlos, call myself. We're always open. We're always happy to help. Guys, if you have any questions, please reach out. And I appreciate every one of you guys. Carlos, thank you so much for all of your information and being here with us. You
My
know,
pleasure.
it's important, like you said, to learn, and we get to learn from someone like yourself. We always appreciate that and look forward to the next one.
Very well. Thank you so much. Appreciate for the opportunity.
Absolutely. Thank you, everyone, so much. Have a wonderful night, and we'll catch you at the next one.
Great. Thank you, Max.
All the best.
All right.